Hi there, it's Daniel. I hope you're doing really, really good today. I got this email yesterday, and I really felt like I wanted to make a quick a voice reply here. So I'm gonna read it right away. It was titled in all caps, "A Desperate, Hopeless Insomniac." Hi Daniel, I've seen many of your videos. I'm going to tell you some of my story. My name is Patricia and I'm from Colombia, and I have been struggling with insomnia for over 20 years. At the beginning, I went to visit a psychiatrist who told me I had OCD and that caused my insomnia. He put me under antidepressants and sleeping pills. I tapered the sleeping pills 6 months later and continued with my life normally. Later on, I had episodes of insomnia every once in a while and took sleeping pills. I stopped them always for long periods of time. I once tried a therapy to leave the pills definitely. The sleep restriction almost killed me. I was so panicked. I couldn't even breathe, work, focus. The panic was severe. So severe I dropped the therapy. My doctor passed away, and 1 year later, I had the worst crisis ever. I started feeling panic at high levels of anxiety. It was so hard that I was prescribed with a medication and some other strong things. I was groggy all the time, could not enjoy my life. I do not really know how I got over that crisis, and now it has started again. I really think that if I start CBTI, I need to be in a clinic or something. I think I will die from insomnia and panic when I started. I'm too afraid to leave Ambien. I'm too afraid of everything. Please help. What should I do? Thanks so much for reaching out, Patricia. And I can sense from this email in what how severe your situation is. And right off the bat, I want to say, of course, you definitely try to find somebody. I hope you have another doctor, a psychiatrist, or somebody that is guiding you along here on where you are in Colombia. But I want to try to share things that I think may be helpful to you. And one of the first ones is that you've had insomnia for a long time and you have gotten over it many times. And I think it's so important for people to know that if you're taking a medications can help us like overcome stress and anxiety that's kind of keeping us from sleeping, but it's never medications that make us sleep. Even if you've taken medications and you then slept, it was your own body, like it was your own sleep system that made you sleep. And the worst thing with the medications, I think, is that they can make people feel like they can't sleep without them. But even when you're taking medication, it is your own natural sleep that's producing that sleep. So I think that's super important to like start building a confidence that you can sleep. And I completely understand how even thinking about moving away from medications and trying CBTI, bedtime restriction, these things can be super, super scary because you have a notion that you won't sleep at all or sleep very poorly or very little. And it is true, like the first 2 weeks, even into the third week often, is really tough. And the reason, like the main reason that is that, you're trying something new, you're trying to go to bed a little later, getting up early, and all that leads to a lot of like self-monitoring. You're like, is this gonna work? I'm not gonna sleep at all. I think I'm gonna sleep even less. I should abandon this and that. That reaction is like the worry is what actually causes insomnia to become often worse when you start CBTI. Not so much the worry, actually, it's more like all the thinking around it, the wondering, the pondering, the questioning of whether it's gonna work or not. But it does work. It works for everyone, even people that have had insomnia for years or people who have more brief insomnia. And I felt one more thing I want to say was that I use the word insomniac every now and then, but when somebody calls themselves an insomniac, it's almost like resignation. It's almost like saying it's part of me. It's who I am. I am a person that cannot sleep, and nobody has to be an insomniac. I think a first step that is often really good is to try to move away from that and say, I've had trouble sleeping, a lot of trouble sleeping over the years, but I've also had stretches where I slept good. It's not it's not by default that I'm always gonna have trouble sleeping. No, there's ways to move past that. I'm not an insomniac, you know. Just even starting to explore those things are helpful. Now, I think, you know, you can learn a lot from my videos, and if you feel like that's a good option for you, you can implement all the things I talk about, starting with, like, you know, episode number 1 and go forward. I'm always here to kind of educate you and answer questions. If you can find somebody close to you, then that's maybe even better, because I see like you've had so much trouble. It may be better to have somebody like physically close to you. But I also want to say, like, I have my very good friend and colleague Martin Reed. You can Google like Insomnia coach in one word and you'll find him. He has an online program that's really good. But I think most of all, like, the most important thing here is that no matter how bad it's been, there's always hope. Like, I've never ever come across somebody who did CBTI, who committed to it and stayed with it and didn't do better. Like, it does work. It is true, if you have like a really, really bad anxiety, that is a kind of a separate thing that that can be a reason CBTI is not can keep CBTI from working well. But it you know, even for somebody that has a lot of anxiety, even if CBTI doesn't like solve insomnia, it helps. It can help a lot. So a main thing here, Patricia, that I wanted to say was, like, there's always hope. There's always hope, and you don't have to be an insomniac. Everybody can sleep. It is just, you know, this worry cycle of like having trouble sleeping, trying to sleep, wondering why you don't sleep, having more trouble sleeping. That's a worry cycle that's feeding it. You don't have to be an insomniac, and everybody can sleep. So just a message of hope here, and stay in touch and let us know how you move forward. And I hope you have a good day, Patricia. Bye-bye.